Yes, children, welcome back to the second video on the Newton's laws of motion. In the last video, we learnt about the application of some lift problems and also motion on an inclined surface. Now we'll focus on some important relations on the application of Newton's second law. Newton's second law, which is F equal to ma, that is mass times acceleration. Actually, you this year defined Newton's law as a rate of change of momentum. Now, what is momentum? Mass into velocity divided by time. If mass in a situation is changing, we usually calculate change in mass or rate of change of mass times velocity, if velocity is a constant. If both are variable, mass and velocity, you calculate change in momentum, then we'll find rate of change of momentum. But sometimes what happens, mass is a constant. In that case, rate of change of velocity. What is the rate of change of velocity? Acceleration. That's a regular calculation in our discussion. Now, sometimes what happens, mass is given in terms of particles, number of particles, mass of each particle, then total mass is mass times number of particles. We'll see an example of this kind. Let's go to problem now, students, 13. Here in the problem 13, see what he says. A solid disk of mass m is just held in air horizontal by throwing 40 stones per second vertically upwards to strike the disk with a velocity 6 meter per second. If the mass of the stone is 0.05 kg, each stone, what is the mass of the disk? Actually, you think of the situation, problem number 13. There is a disk, maybe a wooden plank having mass m. It's supported in air not by using a stand but by throwing balls from a gun, say, continuously. The stones or balls strike continuously, producing a upward force which is enough to balance the weight. What is weight of the disk? Weight of the disk, if mass is mg, it acts down, but the small stones exerting force upwards. What is the force exerted by each one? Is actually we have to find by using this calculation. The what he says in this problem, he says initial velocity is equal to 6 meter per second each stone, and mass of each stone is 0.05 kg, and number of stones which strike per second 40, and per second means time is 1 second. That's it. Now, how do you calculate, students? You have to find net force. Actually, the upward force exerted by stones, is equal to weight of the disk. Then only disk will be in the air. That's very simple logic. How do you find upward force? It is found as mass times rate of change. Mass times rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity. Change in velocity by time, which means acceleration. We have to find acceleration. Time is 1 second here, students. Now, what is mass? Mass is just not m. It is n times m. M is mass of each stone. There are n such stones hitting the disk per second. That's why total mass is nm. That's equal to, what is the weight of the disk? mg. You have to find m. You have to solve for m. Here, what is delta v by delta t? Delta v by use the relation v that equal to u plus at. Here, before striking the disk, velocity is u. After striking, velocity becomes 0. The stones come to rest. That much force they exert. So what's the acceleration? Acceleration is u by t. Therefore, in the place n times m, delta v by delta t. This is actually delta v by change in velocity by corresponding time. Delta v by that you can write u by t. That is equal to mg is there. It's very simple. So you are using this relation. You are using this and finding for a, what is a? Acceleration. Mass times acceleration. What is acceleration? U by t. Change in velocity by time. Now you can solve. The value of number of particles striking, that's 40, and mass of each one 0.05, 0.05 actually, right, into velocity 6 meter per second, time is 1 second. Mass you have to find G10. It's very simple. 1 0 gone. Therefore, the value in 4 5 are 20, 6 2 are 12, 1.2 m. So, m is 1.2 kg. Very simple, right? So, you are using the relation. Hint is force is mass times acceleration. Here, mass is not just m, mass of each stone, it is number of stones into mass of each stone. What is A? A is velocity initial divided by time, or change in velocity by time. Change in velocity is just u, because final velocity is 0. That's it. And what is m? M is mass of the disk multiplied by g is weight. That much force you are applying to balance the weight. So what is the force applied? Force applied equals to weight of the disk. That's the logic. Very simple, right? So you have to practice these relations and keep the logics applications in mind. We'll move on to very similar problem, students. Okay, we'll move on to another one. 10,000 small balls, each weighing 1 gram. How many are there? N. Total number is 10,000. 10,000. Each mass 1 gram. Strike 1 centimeter square, 1 square centimeter area per second with a velocity 100 meter per second in a normal direction and rebound with the same velocity. What the value of pressure on the surface? Pressure is force by area, my dear students. That's why what he says, actually there is a square area. What is a square? Square is, if side A, then what is the area? That is length into breadth. Length L A, breadth B also A, so it is A square. He gives side length as 1 centimeter. Therefore, 1 centimeter, if you write in meter, 10 power minus 2, that is squared, that becomes 10 power minus 4 meter square is the area to which stones continuously striking or balls continuously striking. Before hitting, the velocity is u. After hitting velocity, they rebound with the same velocity. That's why he says final velocity is minus u, initial velocity. Now, if I refer my direction as final velocity, ball coming like this, then how do you find change in momentum? Change in momentum is final momentum, mv, minus initial momentum, mu. Therefore, mv minus u is the change in momentum. From change in momentum, what do you do? You can find force. What is force? Mass time rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum. Delta P by delta T. So, delta P is here mass delta P divided by delta T. Delta P is mass times delta V divided by delta T. What is delta V here? Delta V is change in velocity. It is mass times change in velocity. That is final velocity minus initial velocity divided by corresponding time. From this, what do you do? Pressure. What is pressure? Force by area. So you can write 1 by area times force, mv minus u divided by delta T. That's it. Very simple. What is given here? He has given mass of each stone, that is 1 gram, 110 power minus 3 kg. And time interval, that is 1 second. And what is velocity? Initial velocity is 100 meter per second. Initial, final, both same. That's why you can write for both here 100. That's fine. V equal to minus u. That's it. So P, let's find P. 1 by A. What did we find A? A is 10 power minus 4. 10 raised to the power minus 4. Mass 1 gram, 10 power minus 3. Velocity 100, final velocity, minus of initial velocity minus 100. Initial velocity compared to final, opposite. Time is 1 second. That's it, fine. And this comes to numerator, becomes plus 4, 10 power minus 3. 10 power minus 3. Right. And this is, just a minute, we are missing one more thing. What is that? M, mass 10 power minus 3. Yeah, that is. Mass is not just m, mass of each stone, it is n times m, because there are n number of balls striking the surface. That's why it is n times m, n times m. You have to write n times m. What is n? N is 10,000. That is 10 power 4. Power is 10 power 4. 10 power 4. That's why the total value, it is minus of minus plus 2 times 100. 2 times 100. 100 is 10 power plus 2. 100 can be written 10 power plus 2. 2 times minus of minus plus 2 times 100. So the final value 2 10 to the power plus 4, another term 10 power plus 4. Why? It has come to numerator, this value has come to numerator. So the final value 10 power 7 Newton per meter square. 2 10 power 7 Newton per meter square is the final value. This is the pressure exerted by the n number of stones striking with velocity 100 and getting back a rebound with the same velocity. So total change in momentum actually, since v is same, v and u minus of minus, v also equal to u value wise, minus of minus plus u, so total value is 2u because of change in velocity with the same value opposite direction. That's why I have written minus of minus plus 2 times u, because v equal to u, and with respect to v, u is in the opposite direction. That's why minus of minus plus. That's what you have to remember, right? This is the value 10 to 10 power 7. So the option is D. We'll move on, students. Yes, students, next is the pulley type problem. Here we'll practice how to write equations of motion by using Newton's second law. You know what is Newton's second law? Second law states net force means not single force, when number of forces are acting on a system. What is system? Here system means two bodies connected by an inextensible ಅಂದರೆ extend ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, strings which passes over a pulley, which is a light pulley. Pulley means this wheel. The bodies move together. So there is a net force on the system, means number of forces acting together produce some force, one force, always equal mass times acceleration. It's very, very important. So we practice writing equations of motion for each system. First of all, we'll practice how to write free body diagram and equations of motion. Let's continue with the first one. Let's take the first body, mass m1. Mass m1, dear students, here experiences two forces. One acts down, that is its own weight, w1. What is weight? Mass times acceleration. So there is another force by the string which pulls it up, tension. We call it tension, pulling force in the string. And the two masses passing over the pulley, right? Now two forces are acting together producing an acceleration. Since here, let us suppose the mass m1, in our discussion, mass m1 is greater than m2. Since m1 is greater than m2, the acceleration of the system will be obviously naturally down. So since both move together, if mass m1 moves down with an acceleration, mass m2 moves up with the same acceleration. That's very, very important. So the acceleration of mass m1 is down. What is net force? Net force is, since two forces are acting in the opposite direction, as we learnt in the previous video, when the forces are opposite, you take the difference between them. Downward force minus upward force, that is tension. Okay. What is second law? Second law says net force m1g minus t must be equal to mass times acceleration. Mass is m1. Let us call this equation number 1. This is for first mass. Let us call this case 1. Now case 2 for second body. Again, the same story, experiences two forces, one down, m2g, its own weight. The other one, tension by the string acting up, it's pulling it up, t. Here body is moving up with an acceleration a, therefore tension must be more than weight. What is net force? Net force in this case, tension minus m2g. What is second law? Second law, net force T minus m2g must be equal to mass times acceleration. Now the mass is m2. Okay. We'll solve for T. What is T? T m2g plus m2a. You may call this equation 2. We are going to use the value of tension to equation 1. Thus solving for A using 2 in 1. Very simple. If I do that, m1g minus, in the place of T you write m2g minus of plus minus m2a, that equal to m1a. Take this m2a that side. On the left side you have m1 minus m2g. On the right side you have m1 plus m2a. That's it. Practice the simplification. Each and every step must be familiar to you because you are in the learning stage of applying laws of motion to write down equations of motion and also solving them. What's A finally? Finally A is, you bring this to denominator, m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 times g. What is this? Acceleration of the body. This is one equation. Now use this in equation 2, solve for tension. So tension here, this one. Now what's m2g? That's all. m2 times, what is A? A is m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 times g. Now you take LCM. If you take LCM, and LCM is m1 plus m2. You so multiply this here, m1 m2 times g plus m1 m2 here, m2 m1 m2 m2, okay, right here this is m2, that's why, plus m2 into m2 squared, m2 squared g, plus you multiply this inside, m1 m2 g minus plus into minus m2 square g. m2 square g cancels. So you are left with two terms, m1 m2 g, m1 m2 g. 2 times m1 m2 g divided by m1 plus m2. This is tension. You have written expression for tension in the string in terms of masses. 2 times m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into g. G is missing here, g. What is acceleration? m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into g. If you remember these equations, you need not write again and again every problem, equations of motion, solving them, finally arriving at the answer for tension and A. You straight away use expression for A, expression for T. Otherwise, what you have to do? You have to repeat the same procedure for every problem. Let's see an example. See here, 15. Two bodies, masses 5 kg and 3 kg respectively, connected to two ends of a light string which passes over here, over pulley, frictionless pulley. Tension in the string is, see, the masses 5 kg, 3 kg, that's all. You have to find tension. See here, an expression for tension. What is tension T? Tension T, problem number 14. 2 times masses are 5 kg and 3 kg. Here, masses are 5 kg and 3 kg. Divided by 5 plus 3, 8 times 10. You are taking G, 10. Now you can simplify 15, 5 is a 15, 2 is a 30, 30 10s are 300. 300 divided by 8. So 8, 3s are 24. So 60. 60 means 8 6 point, around 7. So around 36, answer is B. You need not take 9.8. You just use 10. Search for the nearest value in the options. That is 36, right? So very simple one. Now we'll see one more of the same kind. That is problem number 17, students. There are 3 equal weights A, B, C of mass 2 kg each are hanging on a string passing over a fixed pulley. Here, this one. Which is frictionless as shown in the figure. Tension in the string connecting B and C. You have to find tension in B and C. Let us suppose this. See, these two mass all 2 kg, 2 kg, 2 kg. These two together one system. Let us suppose that. Between these two there is a force, of course. These two together one system. What is mass of this? Let us call mass of these two together m1 4 kg. And what is mass of this? That is m2 2 kg. That's it. Now what is tension here? Let us suppose tension here T, tension here T. Right? It's very simple. Now we can easily find or simplify to find what the tension in this thing, tension and acceleration. If this moves with an acceleration up a, this system moves down with an acceleration a only. What is the acceleration of the system here? Acceleration of system is m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m. So let us find first of all acceleration. What is acceleration? m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 times g. This is very simple. If you are ready with these ready-made equations, you can straight away solve. Otherwise, you require more time. What is mass of these two together? 4, 2 plus 2, 4. Minus, what is mass of this? 2 divided by 4 plus 2 times g. Right? I can put g value, okay. 4 minus 2 is 2. This is 6. What is 2 by 6? 1 by 3. So it is g by 3. Acceleration is g by 3. Now we have to find force between these two. Let us suppose force exerted by B on C up, that is say T dash. And what is force on C? Its own weight. What is that? mg. Or you can say mcg. mc is mass of the value of mass of C. On C, there are two forces. One tension exerted by B up, we have named it T dash, we have to find. The other one, its own weight, mg. So what is the equation of motion for this? Since the mass is moving down, what is net force? Equation of motion. Let's suppose equation of motion for mc. What is that? As it is moving down, net force mcg weight minus upward force T is equal to mass times acceleration. You have the value of acceleration. You have to solve for tension. So I'll write T dash. What is T dash? T dash is here. T dash, you bring it to this right side and this left side. So mc is a common term. It is g minus a. Now what is mc? 2. G minus what is a? G by 3. Right? So you can simplify 3 LCM. 3g minus g, 2g. 2 to the 4g. 4 by 3 into g. And if you put as g, you will get a value around g 10. If I take g 10, it is 4 times 10 divided by 3. What is this? 40 by 3. What is 40 by 3? Nearly 13. 3 is a 39. Nearly 13. So the answer is nearly 13. Because it is 4 tens are 40. 40 by 3 is nearly 13. So almost similar. We have found, taking these two masses together, acceleration, because all the three masses move with an acceleration a, but acceleration for mass a up, for B and C down, the value of acceleration m1 minus m2 divided by m plus m1, sum of the masses of these two, right side system, left side m2. So you have found acceleration. Then you have written equation of motion for mass C. Practice writing equation of motion. It's very easy. I have shown. Remember this method, procedure. Apply this for every other systems. So you have to be practicing regularly. You'll be familiar with this, right? We'll move on with next one, students. Yes, children, we'll see another one. Two masses m1 5 kg, m2 4.8 kg tied to a string hanging over a light frictionless pulley. What is the acceleration of the masses when they are free to move? It's very simple. Now recall the formula for acceleration just before a while we derived that, right? What is that? Acceleration A m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2. While writing this, we assumed heavier minus lighter. So the value is 5 minus 4.8 divided by 5 plus 4.8, 9.8 into what is G? Instead of 10, you use 9.8. You must be smart enough to cancel it out, right? So the value is A 0.2 meter per second square. The option is A. That's it. Okay. We'll move on to another one, students. That is two masses m by 2 are joined together by means of light inextensible string which passes over a frictionless pulley. As shown in the figure, the bigger mass is released. Means you are going to release this m with a small ascent with an acceleration. Smaller one ascend with an acceleration. See, if bigger mass moves down, means descend with an acceleration a, with the same acceleration, lighter mass ascends, moves up. What is that acceleration? Very simple. Again, same formula. Acceleration a, m2 or m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 times g. Here m1 is m, m2 is m by 2 divided by m into m by 2 times g, right? You take LCM. If you take numerator LCM 2m minus 1m, that is m by 2 divided by m into m by 2, so m by 2 cancels into g. So what's the value of because you are adding, say here adding, okay, sorry, sometimes you make a mistake like this, so you must be careful. This is m plus m by 2, m plus m by 2. What is m plus m by 2? It is 3m by 2. I'll remove this, okay. If you take LCM, numerator m by 2 and denominator 2 LCM, 2m plus m, 3m by 2, m by 2 cancels, so it is g by 3. Answer is g by 3, option A, right? And problem number 30 also almost the same approach, but one extra term is there, that is center of mass. Center of mass we will discuss in our rotational mechanics chapter, then I'll solve this. You keep it for a while, right? As it is. We will come to this problem later on, students. Okay, children, we'll see another lift problem, a slight different approach. Let's read first of all. A 50 kg boy stands on a platform of a spring scale of a lift that is going down with a constant speed 3 meter per second. If the lift is brought to rest by a constant deceleration in a distance 9 meter, a reading of the scale during that period. Let us suppose lift moves from this level, this is the top level, here, that is ground. Let us suppose from here to here, this level to this level to this level, 9 meter. This is the distance displacement 9 meter. Actually, it is moving down with a constant velocity, uniform velocity. It is moving down with a velocity till here. Till here, it is continuously moving with uniform velocity. As I explained earlier in the previous video related to lift, when there is no acceleration, no change in weight that equal to mg always. Till here mg, but it starts decelerating. Means velocity initially when it reaches this level is 3 meter per second. That velocity becomes 0 in a time interval. Not time interval, he has given distance in this distance. So from here to here in this period you can find acceleration in last 9 meters, acceleration in last 9 meters. That's actually deceleration. How do you find that acceleration? Final velocity v square that equal to u square plus 2as. How do you know? You have to use this relation because given initial velocity, final velocity and displacement. So you can easily find that is a v square minus u square divided by 2s. So what's a? A is 0 minus 3 3s are 9 divided by 9 times 2s. So it is minus half meter per second square or minus 0.5 meter per second square. The acceleration is negative in the sense the body is moving down, but the acceleration is up. Why? You are lifting it up. How do you produce deceleration? As it is falling with 3 meter per second, we have to decrease the velocity from 3 to 0. So you have to pull it up. You are pulling it, holding the rope. Along with the rope, you are pulling it up. Tension is acting up. The weight is acting down, that is mg. Tension is acting up. That tension overcoming weight producing deceleration. So when you pull it up, same reaction is felt down. Reaction is felt down. Reaction acts down. Normal reaction always acts down. That is equal and opposite to the applied force. So how do you write equation of motion? Equation of motion is written this way. Since tension T acting up is more than mg, when you pull it up, then only there will be deceleration. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ನೋಡಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಲಿಫ್ಟ್. ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಲಿಫ್ಟ್ದು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪುಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಪ್. ಸೊ ಅಪ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಮ್ ಜಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಮಾಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಲರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ what is that difference? Difference is tension T minus mg. T minus mg is ma, right? That T, that is equal to on the person. Look here, this is the person, normal reaction. Okay, this tension T is the extra force you applied, that is a decelerating force. The tension that appeared, extra force appeared in the string is the decelerating force, that is m into g plus a, right? If you multiply the two, it will be 5 times 103, that will be 515, 5 3 is 15 Newton. That is the decelerating force you applied here. And a similar approach you have to solve. Next one, a slight difference. What is that? 20th. An elevator and its load have total mass 800 kg. Load and elevator. If elevator means lift. If the elevator originally moving downward with an acceleration 10 meter, with a velocity 10 meter per second, is brought to rest with a constant deceleration at a distance of 25 meter, the tension in the support cable, same approach, same, no change. Repeat problem. See, tension T minus 800 G equal to 800 A, same. The acceleration acts upward, same relation we are using. V squared equal to U squared plus 2AS. Here it is a deceleration, that's why you are writing minus 2. So it's acting upwards. You write equation of motion, upward force minus downward force. Downward force, upward force is net force, that is equal to mass times acceleration. Mass times acceleration. This is mg, right? This is upward force. So we have solved for T, that is 800, 10 plus 2, 9600. It is application of net force mass times acceleration for a spring. And the last one here in this spring one, on a stationary sailboat, air is a boat problem actually. Air is blown at the sails from fan attached to the boat. The boat will, actually boat and the fan both are internal system, right? So you cannot kick yourself. When you are standing on a boat, you by kicking the wall of the boat cannot make it move. They are mutual forces. For every action there is equal and opposite reaction. If you apply a force on boat, boat applies force on you. So you both cannot apply force on each other and move. Internal forces do not produce acceleration. External force is required to produce acceleration. That's why, students, the boat remains stationary, will not move, because both the sail visual and also fan make internal system. They cannot exert force on each other and make something move, the body move. They have to apply force on another body, outside body. Then only the body starts moving, right? See, to move, for example, when you are sitting on a boat, to move forward, you have to apply force on water. Rowing, you have seen rowing, right? ಹುಟ್ಟು ಹಾಕೋದು, ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಹುಟ್ಟು ಹಾಕೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ, ಅದು ರೋಯಿಂಗ್. ನೀವು ಹುಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಾಟರ್ ತಳ್ತೀರ ನೀವು. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ವಾಟರ್, With the help of that, you move forward. So you have to apply a external force to make a body move. That's an idea. It's actually Newton's third law. That's the option A. We'll move on, students. Now we'll see one more type of problem, students, that is masses connected, in fact, interconnected by strings. Let's see the simplest of the examples. Two masses, M1, M2, they'll give the mass value in kilogram. There is a force acting on the mass M1 to the right, that is F. And the two strings are connected by a string, two masses connected by a string which is inextensible. Adare extend agudilla adu. Extend ಆದರೆ altogether different story. Now, when you pull the body M1 with force F, the mass M1 in turn pulls mass M2. So that pulling force in the string between M1 and M2 is tension. What is the direction of tension? How do you understand? Nodi, mass M1 pulls mass M2. Which way? Right. Let us call the force T. According to Newton's third law, if force exerted by mass M1 is action on M2, then force on M1 by M2 is reaction. What is that? Action is equal and opposite to reaction. How do you write it? Opposite direction. So that is T. So T, if you show arrow towards M2, that is the force exerted by M2 on M1. If you show arrow towards mass M1, it is force exerted by M1 on M2. Both are same, equal and like. Now, how do you find the acceleration of the system? Here also, both the masses move with the same acceleration. They move together. They are connected each other. That's why they move together. So, how do you find acceleration? So, according to Newton's second law, again you use second law. What is second law? That is force F, net force F, total force on the system. Total force, the C, tension is an internal force. Force exerted by M1, that is equal to force exerted by M2. Action, reaction. They do not produce any external effect. They are internal. So total force on the system, net force, is always mass times acceleration. You want acceleration, that is F net, that equal to M into A. M is total mass, total. So you want acceleration. What is acceleration? That is net force divided by total mass. What is total mass here in this case? Total mass is M1 plus M2. That's it. And net force is F. That's why you write F divided by M1 plus M2. That's it. Once you find acceleration, now equation of motion. How do you write equation of motion? We have already been doing it for almost last full video. What is equation of motion? Equation of motion, right? For mass M1. How do you write equation of force? Net force. Again net force. Net force is mass times acceleration. What is net force for mass M1? How do you identify that? Let's consider mass M1. That mass M1 experiences two forces, one to the right, the other to the left tension. So, how do you write net force when they are acting in the opposite direction? The greater force minus lesser force. Since the body is moving to the right, F must be more, T must be less. That is net force F minus T. What is mass here? M1. Because you are considering M1 alone. And acceleration A. So net force F minus T, that equal to, what is A? For acceleration input, F divided by M1 plus M2. This way you can find for either F, if F is unknown. If F is given, you can solve for tension T. And one more, equation of motion for mass M2. That is even bit easier. On mass mass M2. On mass M2, only one force is acting. What is that? T, tension T. Which way? That is to the right. So what is the Newton's law? Net force, that is equal to mass times acceleration. Net force is tension here on the mass M2. Mass M2 into, what is acceleration? Total force divided by M1 plus m2. Now you can easily find the value of tension. And you can do the same for three bodies connected together. If there are three bodies, plus m3, that's it. Wherever you have written m1 plus m2, you will write plus m3, that's all, right? So we'll see an example which covers this area. What is that? Look here, question number 16. Three blocks, masses m1, m2, m3 connected by massless light spring on a frictionless table. No friction. If there is friction, you have to consider that force also in the opposite direction. We'll practice it shortly. They are pulled with a force T3 40 Newton, mass M1 10, mass M2 6, mass M3 4 kg. And it shows in the diagram that the force is acting on the mass M3. What is tension T2? This is tension T2. We have to find T2. It's very simple, children. So as shown already, tension between masses M1, M2 is T2. We can write tension this way also, because tension is a internal force, action-reaction pair. If there is force exerted by M3 on M2, same time M2 also exerts force on M3, same force T2. Again between M1 and M2, there is a force tension. Here tension is shown from M1 to M2. ಹೀಗೂ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೋದು, because this arrow shows force on M2 by M1. This arrow shows force on M1 by M2. What is the procedure? Same procedure, dear students. What is acceleration? Net force divided by mass times acceleration. So let me solve here itself. Very easy. What is acceleration? First of all, acceleration is net force divided by mass m1 m2 plus m3. Here net force is tension T3, that is m1 plus m2 plus m3. That's all. What is T3? He gives T3 as 40 Newton and masses 40 numerator divided masses m1 10, m2 6 and m3 4. That's all. So what is acceleration? Numerator 40 divided by, this is 16 plus 20. So 2 meter per second square is the acceleration. Now to find what are you doing here? You are going to find T2. You have to find T2. T2 is the force between M1 and M2 and M3. So you consider M3, that's enough, M3. So what is equation of motion for M3? First of all, you take M3 separately, show forces acting on them. One to the right, that is T3, other to the left, that is T2. You have to find T2, you know T3. What is equation of motion? How do you write? Equation of motion, net force mass times acceleration. Net force, greater force minus lesser force, because body or system of bodies moving towards right. So T3 must be greater than T2. Net force is T3 minus T2. That's equal to mass times acceleration, mass m3. You want T2, that's it, T2. So you transfer T2 to the right and this to the left. So T3 minus M3A. What is T3? T3 is 40 minus M3. What is M3? M3 he says 4 into acceleration 2. So 40 minus 4 to the 8. So the final answer is 32 Newton. That's it. So your option must be D. That's it, students. Very simple. Total force means net force by total mass is always acceleration. And here force T1 not asked, but you can solve for T1. I will show here. How do you find T1? T1 alone acts on M1. That's why T1 that equal to M1A. M1 is 10. A is 2. So it is 20 Newton. That's it. If you find all the forces on M1 forces on M2 force on M3, they must be equal to 40. That is also there in our calculation. Okay, you practice a problem like this, students. We'll move on. Now let's read problem 22. What's there? What is special with that? We'll see. A machine gun fires 20 bullets, almost similar to our second video discussions. Per second to a target, bullet of mass 150 gram, weighing 150 gram, and has a speed 800 meter per second. The force necessary to hold the gun. So this is an action-reaction pair. When you fire a bullet, bullets experience force forward and gun experiences force backward, right? So you have to find the force experience. Actually, initially it's thought the bullets will be at rest. What it says, number of bullets 20 and mass of each bullet 150 gram. If I write in kg, 10 power minus 3, and time of action 1 second, meter per second, right? And velocity v 800 meters per second. In 1 second, the velocity is 800 meter per second. That's why. Now, if you find force, how much force required? The force exerted by bullet on gun is equal and opposite to force exerted by gun on bullet, right? So that's the idea here. Yes, here that force equal to mass times acceleration. Mass is total mass, number of bullets into mass of each bullet, and acceleration is v minus u by t. It's not initial velocity 0, so it's v by t. So the force F21, F12, that is equal to F21, that is equal to Nm times v by t. What's N? Number of bullets 20 into mass 150 10 power minus 3 into velocity 800 divided by 1 second. So if you multiply them 20, how do you do simplification? 800, 2 zeros and this 1 0 gone, right? So you are left with 2 times 150 times 8. So 30, 8 to the 24, 2400 Newton is the force exerted by the bullets in the backward direction. That much force you have to apply to hold it in position. Ganana. This is simple application of Newton's law. And only difference, only change or only additional substitution you have to make here is mass is number of bullet into mass of each bullet. Next one. Again on Newton's third law. Tension in a spring. He says there is a 5 Newton force acting to the right, 5 Newton force acting to the left. Students, is a bit confusing. It's very simple. See, if I don't show force to the left, I look at this example. I have a spring connected to a rigid support, this one, and the other end is free. Now if I apply a force 5 Newton, what is the force at this end? 5 Newton. That's it. It's a very simple case. So what is force applied then? 5. Not 5 plus 5, 10. It is 5 only. Right? You have held here. When you hold at this point, then force applied here is felt here. ನೀವೇನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೂ ಫೋರ್ಸು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ದಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 5 Newton. That's why it is option C. Very simple. Okay. Now 24th. Again on action-reaction pair. We'll read the problem first. A book is lying on a table. The angle between action on the book, on the table, and action on the book, reaction on the table. Make an angle or at an angle. You have to find the angle between action and reaction. Very simple. If there is a table and a book lying over it, there will be weight acting down, that is action, and a normal force acts vertically up. Normal means perpendicular to surface. What is the angle between them? Angle between them is 180 degree. So option D. Now look at the option 25. It's very simple. 25. Gun fires small bullet with kinetic energy K then the kinetic energy of the gun while recoiling will be kinetic energy of the gun. So these problems based on the law of conservation of momentum, right? We'll see. ನೋಡೀಗ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್? ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ collision, or if we are talking about firing of a bullet from a gun before firing, that is equal to momentum, MOM here read as momentum, after collision or firing, after collision or firing. If there are two bodies engaged in collision, like see, there are two bodies, mass m1 moving with velocity u1 initially, collides with another body m2 moving with velocity u2. This is before collision. They collide for a time t, exchanging forces. Say if u1 is greater than u2, body u1 hits body u2. During collision for a time t, there will be exchange of momenta. And after collision, the masses m1 and mass m2 continue to move with velocities v1 and v2. This is after collision. So you can write a relation m1 u1, momentum of first body before collision, m2 u2, and the sum of momenta before collision is equal to momentum after collision, m2 v2. This is the idea. Now for a gun fired from a bullet, right? When you fire a bullet when I fire a bullet from gun, initially they were at rest. Initial velocity of gun equal to 0. Initial velocity of bullet, that is equal to 0. But they move with final velocity. Let's suppose the bullet moves with velocity small v and gun moves with velocity capital V. Through experience you have understood, when bullet moves forward, gun moves backward. That can be easily shown in the expression. Here, therefore, you can write initial velocity is 0, initial momenta 0. That is equal to, let us suppose, mass of gun capital M, mass of bullet small m. That's why it's capital M. For bullet, you write first of all. For bullet, this is small m small v plus capital M capital V. Now you transfer 1 to the left side. If you want velocity of the gun recoil, capital M capital V, that equal to minus small m small v. There is minus here, you are sent to the right. What's final velocity of gun? That is mv divided by capital M. That is the velocity of the gun. Similarly, for velocity of bullet, you write, that is, you just transfer this side. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಮಾಸ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಾ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ it is capital M capital V divided by small m. That's all. Now using this idea, you can easily calculate what he wants you to find. Gun fires small bullets with velocity kinetic energy k. Then the kinetic energy of gun while recoiling is less, more, equal. That's what he wants you to find. Now let's suppose, according to by law of conservation of momentum, you can analyze in two ways this problem. Law of conservation of momentum of gun is equal to momentum of bullet, right? Momenta same, but velocity is different. So through common experience, you have understood, lighter one moves faster, heavier one moves slower. So bullet moves with very high speed, gun moves with very low speed. That's all. But momenta will be same. Product of mass and velocity is same. That is, mass of gun, mass of bullet is equal to mass of bullet, mass of velocity of bullet. mv. They are equal, opposite. That's why sign is opposite. Value wise they are equal. So momenta of both, this implies momentum of gun is equal to momentum of bullet, but they are in the opposite direction. Direction is opposite. If one is to the right, the other in the opposite direction, left. But what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy relation k half mv squared. You have learnt about this type of calculation, this relation and interrelations for this in different chapters in first PUC. Now you do similar, multiply divide by m. There is no change mathematically. If you cancel it out, again half m square remains. Now you continue calculation this way. M into m, m squared. M squared v squared divided by 2m. What is m squared v squared? P squared. P squared divided by 2m, where p is mass. Since during collision, momenta is a constant. During collision, always remember, during collision or firing, momentum constant. Law of conservation of momentum. All interactions, momentum is constant. It's very, very important. Therefore, kinetic energy inversely proportional to mass. That's very, very important relation. More is the mass, less will be the kinetic energy. Less is the mass, more will be the kinetic energy. Right? That's why, since momentum same, kinetic energy inversely proportional to mass. Similarly, for gun, kinetic energy inversely proportional to its mass, right? Since capital M is greater than small m, kinetic energy of gun, heavier one, is less than kinetic energy of bullet, lighter one. Lighter one moves faster. Simple analysis. So your answer, kinetic energy of gun while recoiling will be less than that of K, where K is kinetic energy of bullet. Bullet moves with more kinetic energy because moves faster, and gun moves with less kinetic energy. Here energy is conserved, total energy is conserved. Kinetic energy for bullet more, gun less. That's why option C. So you have to think like this, understand, right? Now we'll move on with next question, student. Okay, we'll move on. A bullet of mass 0.1 kg is fired from with a speed 100 meter per second. A mass of gun is 50 kg. Velocity of recoil. Very simple. What did we learn just before this problem? According to law of conservation of momentum, momentum before firing, momentum before firing equal to momentum after. Before firing 0, after firing mass of gun m, its velocity v, plus mass of bullet, its velocity. He wants you to find mass of velocity of gun. That's why minus mv. So v you want minus m small v divided by capital M. It's very simple. 0.1 into 100, 0.1 into 100, minus n is there, divided by is 50. So 1 0 cancels, 0 with 1 by 5. 1 by 5 is nearly 0.2 meter per second. Actually, you are getting negative answer, implying that gun recoils, moves backwards. That's why your answer is 0.2. My dear students, here, if there are two values, one option say 0.2 plus 0.2, one option plus 0.2 meter per second, the other option minus 0.2 meter per second, then we will go with this answer minus 0.2. Why? Because a gun recoils, but here he says recoiling speed. That's why you just mark 0.2. He only says recoiling 0.2. Otherwise, only one option is there, no plus minus sign, just mark that value and proceed. But both positive and negative answers, same value are there, go with minus sign. Minus sign na consider ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಸೈನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಮೈನಸ್ ಸೈನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ಅದು ನೋಡಿ ಹುಡುಕ್ಬೇಕು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ರಿಕಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವರೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೈನಸ್ ಸೈನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. If gun moves forward, bullet moves backward. If bullet moves forward, gun moves backward. The opposite direction. That's it. We'll move on with another problem. Yes, another problem for practice. 27. A body of mass 0.25 kg is projected with muzzle speed. Muzzle speed means the speed of the bullet while coming out of the barrel. ಈ ಥರ ಬ್ಯಾರಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಯಾರಲಿಂದ ಈಚೆಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಏನು ಸ್ಪೀಡು ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್, ದಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ 100. And mass of the gun is 0.25 kg. The mass of the tank is 100 kg. What is the recoil velocity of the tank? ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಗನ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿಸೋದು ಈಚೆ. So you just use the same law of conservation of momentum, same this one. Okay. What is mass of tank? That is around 100 kg into its velocity, that's equal to minus mass of gun, mass of bullet is 0.25 kg into its speed 100. That's all, right? Body of mass projected from a gun. It's like a cannon gun. A body of mass 0.25 kg is projected. V minus 0.25 into 100 divided by 100 into 100 divided by 100. 100 cancels. That's why answer is minus 0.25 meter per second. Minus means recoil. He in the problem mentions the word recoil. He only says recoil. That's why just mark 0.25. That's it. Right?